Hello and welcome to yet another shader pack review here on the Shaderpacks channel. Today we're going to be taking a look at T-shaders. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Of course, subscribe for more of these kinds of videos. And then let's get started. Let's have a look at T-shaders. T-shaders is a very minimalistic shader pack. It adds only very few features and it will barely look like you're using shaders, but once you actually know what features it does add and what possibilities it gives you to actually customize the shader to your liking, you may still find yourself actually running a great shader pack. So first things first, if you've never heard of T-shaders, that is very well possible because up until about a year ago, it was still called Beyond Believe Vanilla Reborn. The shaders are now called T-shaders and they actually are the same shader pack on the same CurseForge page, they just have a new name. Now it already used to be a very minimalistic pack, but that's why it's actually great for low-end PCs. This pack should definitely be considered a low-end pack, and that is why it gives you great and very high FPS. Now of course, you do not want to know about the features it does not have, you want to know what you do get with this shader pack. Now some of the features you do get, and you're probably going to notice these, especially when you actually compare them to vanilla Minecraft, which you can do by going to the link down below in the description to the shaderpacks.net post about this shader pack, where I usually include some comparisons so you can compare vanilla Minecraft and this shader pack side by side. You're actually going to see that the ambient occlusion added by this pack, which is these darker areas, these darker contact areas between blocks like this, you're going to see that they stand out, especially when compared to vanilla Minecraft. Another feature is that it has FXAA by default, which is a subtle and lightweight variant of anti-aliasing. It's going to make your world look a little bit better, a little less sharp. It's going to take off the sharp edges of textures, and it's going to make Minecraft feel just a little more high-end. Another feature that you can clearly see, especially when you're actually watching this video and not the images that are in the post that I talked about earlier, you can see that everything is a little wavy. And that is definitely a feature many people like. Some people actually specifically ask just to have shaders that only add waving leaves and waving plants. So another thing that is wavy with the shader pack is the water. It's very subtle, as you can see, and also if you don't like the color of the water, I mean, yeah, you have to get used to this probably, but if you don't like the color of the water, I'm pretty sure you can adjust it in the shader settings. But the good thing is, the water is wavy and it's subtle, and that is actually perfect for a pack like this. Now I've also mentioned this with other shader packs, especially the low-end ones that do not have all of their settings enabled by default. You can enable certain settings in this shader pack to make it look better and add effects to it. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll be right back and then I'll show you what the shader pack can also look like. Of course, in return, you will get less FPS, but you know, if you can actually run this shader pack with ease, then you may want to consider enabling a few effects. So I have just changed a couple of settings. You may or may not be able to notice this based on how well your screen is actually lit and how bright it is and how well you were actually able to see the colors before. But I've changed the color preset to match the color scheme of BSL shaders, which you can do in this shader pack. And I also changed a couple of other effects such as distance blur. So as you can see, stuff in the distance is going to be slightly blurry, which definitely adds to the realism. I also enabled custom clouds, but I believe you can also change the color of the clouds if you like to. So now they're kind of grayish, at least the ones close to me are kind of grayish. And so if you want to change that, you can definitely do that as well. And then there's also some settings that I didn't change. So all I'm trying to say is this shader pack is great for low-end PCs, and should you be able to run this with ease on your low-end system, you can always try to enable some settings that are disabled by default. So that's been it for this shader pack review of T-shaders. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you actually did, be sure to hit that thumbs up, subscribe for more of these kinds of videos, and then of course, as always, I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.